right. Thanks, Tiara. This is Judy Mortrude. Hello, everyone. Thank you for using that chat box and introducing yourself. We are so glad to be with you today. Over the next 45 minutes or so, Melissa and I will provide an overview of LINCS and the many freely available and free high-quality resources that you can find there. And then we're going to have 10-15 minutes at the end for your questions, but you don't have to wait till the end as we go through all of this content and sort of show you the tour of LINCS. If you think of things, you wonder to yourself, I wonder if they have this on LINCS, just type it in the chat box and we'll get to it. We want to start our presentation today by learning a little bit more about you and how or if you're already using LINCS. But before Tiara opens our polls, here's a quick little reminder that LINCS is operated by Manhattan Strategy Group under a contract with the U.S. Department of Education, Office of Career, Technical, and Adult Education. And this little disclaimer lets you know that although working under their contract, the content doesn't necessarily reflect the views or policies of the U.S. Department of Education. Okay, so a little bit about your work. Tiara's going to open a couple of polls here. We'd first like to figure out what your role is, what it is you're doing in your organization, institution. So you can see the polls come onto your screen. Go ahead and click what best describes your role or other, if nothing describes your role that we've thought of there. And then the second question is if you've used LINCS. If you've never used it, and that's fine. If you lurk in the community, we got a couple of lurkers, that's fine too. If you looked in the resource collection, sort of what best, oh good, we have got some people who have been on LINCS before, Melissa.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm an expert lurker. No. In my day.
Oh, great. Another couple seconds, we've got almost all of you voting. So it looks like about half the folks on have not used LINCS before, so that's, like I say, just fine. This is going to give us a really quick overview, and for those of you who have been in the community and the resource collection, maybe you'll have questions specifically about the things that you were trying to find there. It looks like we have majority teachers, some administrators, and then some other staff who are important to adult ed as well, so that's terrific. Okay, great. I think we can stop that. And then Tiara, you're going to stop sharing your screen and I'm going to try to figure out how to get mine on there. Okay. So we're going to go back and forth today between our PowerPoint and the actual screen. So if at any point we fall off and we're showing you nothing or we're showing you pictures of our grand dog, let us know. Okay, so to start with the basics, what is LINCS? First of all, it's another acronym in our field full of acronyms. LINCS stands for the Literacy, Information, and Communication System, and it comes from the U.S. Department of Education Office of Career, Technical, and Adult Education, or OCTAE. So LINCS is an OCTAE initiative that's meant to expand evidence-based practices in adult education through providing professional development and training opportunities to the adult education field. And it has these 5 main components, right? It's got this community of practice where you can interact with other adult ed professionals from around the country or in the next classroom to yours. It has a learning portal where you can access online professional development courses. It has a resource collection which is essentially a database of high quality relevant research relevant to the field of adult ed. It has a learner center, which is a website specifically for adult ed participants, and then it has resources for the states, such as the LINCS Professional Development Center with its training catalog and links to resources from national initiatives and more. So it's a lot of information, and in order to help you sift through all this content, LINCS has a new quick reference guide. It's designed to help the users from 5 target audiences, which you see across the top there: teachers, administrators, PD specialists, state staff, and again, learners, identify which parts of LINCS may be most applicable to them. So you can find this document on the LINCS website, and actually you can find this document in your email because Tiara emailed it to you last week. And the document describes and recommends specific resources in each of the links components for each audience, sort of a crosswalk. So we encourage you to spend a few minutes looking at it. Consider using the quick reference guide. What's wrong?
It broke up on my end a little bit.
Oh, my audio? Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Oh. Well, let's see if we can keep
You're fine.
going. Okay, good. Okay, so Melissa, you're going to start here.
Should I? Well, so we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the links components that have so many resources targeted to teachers. We're going to start by looking at the community and the resource collection and the learning portal sort of one by one. So I'm going to share my screen. Oh.
I'll drive this part.
Okay, you drive that? Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay.
That is awesome. So we're going to start with the Links community. And the Links community is a virtual professional learning space for adult educators and stakeholders. The community has over 13,000 registered members from all over the nation. Members join topical groups to engage in discussion focused on topics critical to the field of adult education. So there are so many out there that you can pick and choose which might work for you. Groups are supported by a moderator who facilitate the conversation, help share relevant resources, and coordinate special episodic events such as the guest discussions or expert-led webinars. So we have the screen here, and this is what it looks like when you click on the community button. And on the front page, you'll see all the new announcements. You'll see resources that come up. You'll see some activities that are happening in the Links community. So the community is separated into public and micro learning groups, and the micro groups have very specific, as their name sort of entails, have very specific focuses. So you're welcome to join as many groups of interest and participate in the community that you would like to participate in. And on the groups page, you're able to see how many posts have gone up in that particular group that are within the community and what the date of the last activity is. So that's very helpful when you're looking for information. And then when you click on a specific one, like the teaching and learning group, there are a number of things that are going on this page. There's an overview of what the whole group is about, and it describes the target audience and the topics that might be discussed in the group. There's a discussion board where most of the activity happens, and a place for documents to be shared with helpful information. They're posted by the moderator. You also have the moderator's contact information and usually a picture so you can see what they look like. And the recent members along the side, and then you could click to get more specific. But this group happens to have 2,472 members, and these are the most recent ones that are showing.
This is that micro group you were talking about, Melissa. Yep. So college and career standards, I know, is something Mississippi's interested in.
Yep. So there's a separate micro group on college and career readiness standards, and then you can click and get even more detail if you scroll down. There's a set of new posts, and there's what do lessons look like when they're aligned to college career readiness. We can take a look at that one. It's a link. There's a video that can come out of this that you can watch when to help support your work and aligning your lessons to college and career readiness.
Great.
Yeah. There's also, if you do want to go to the Crowd Ed and Teaching and Learning, Judy?
I need to go back, right?
Yeah.
I need to go back. Okay.
It's in the teaching.
In the Teaching and Learning group. Yes, right. There we go. Build
Yeah.
your own toolkit.
Build your own toolkit with CrowdEd, which is a web-based tool. And there's a group that is working through how to do this and working with the platform and comments and discussions and support in going through that process. So this is also one of the neat things that is available, all the support you get from the group members. So I am a very big lurker in these groups. I've been a lurker for years. And it's great because you can find a bunch of information. So sort of to put it all in a nutshell, the community is a place where you can ask questions, join discussions, or review discussions on the topics that you're interested in, and participate in community activities. It's a resource and a space to share with your colleagues that are doing the same thing across the country. So it's a really great place to look for things that you may need in your teaching. All right.
Great. And I think I heard you say the moderator a couple of times. I think that's an important thing to say.
Yep.
About the community, right? That it is
Right.
a moderated discussion. It's not going to be a free for all.
It is not a free for all. It's absolutely is a moderate, and the documents that are posted go through the moderator, so we make sure that somebody's taking a look at them before they get posted up. And the moderator has the job of asking really pointed questions sometimes to get conversations and discussions going with the group, or support the conversation that's going on. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Okay, I'm going to move us to the second component, which is the Learning Portal. So the Learning Portal provides access to online courses for adult educators. So these are courses for you. You can explore, there are more than 40 self-paced online courses available. You can use them anytime, anywhere. Interested users can register for each course at any point and take as much time as needed to complete the course, though you're going to see most of them are, an hour and a half to 3 hours long. And then you can download a certificate of completion for documentation when you're finished. So I'm going to, again, move us to the link site. So you'll see I'll go back up to links, or I can click here right into courses. So along the left, you can see I have every course there is, but you can also look down the middle here. So you can, again, arranged by topics. So say we wanted to go into a career pathways course, learn more there. You can see a number of courses listed under the Adult Career Pathways Initiative. Again, an hour and a half, 2.5 hours. Workforce preparation has a number of courses. So say I was interested in this Introduction to Workforce Preparation and Employability Skills. You can see here's a little bit of content about it. 1.5 hours. Who's the audience? It's educators, administrators, advisors. If I click into it, you can see that there's a little visual here, and I can see the table of contents, so I can kind of preview what the sessions would be in the 2 sessions, the conclusion, and then again back into more detail that you wouldn't necessarily see with your access. So when you click on an enrollment to self-enroll, you don't have to contact anyone, you just enroll yourself. You'll get an email, and you'll be able to find your way into all kinds of different courses. Mm-hmm. Anything you wanted to say there, Melissa, while I...
No, I mean, no, I think that's great. I think that having the certificate of completion is very helpful as you're working through perhaps your professional development requirements for the year. You do get proof of participating.
Yes, yes, great. So here are, again, some more of the courses that are available kind of under these different topics. Under teaching and learning, I believe there is a CCRS, a College Career Readiness, CCRS courses there. We didn't list that on the slide. Some new courses that have been added lately. There've been some updating done to the Learning to Achieve, which are about accommodations and English language learners. Some new courses on correctional and reentry education. So the courses do, they are created along with lots of different federal investments and federal initiatives, but then they do continue to be updated as well. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I wanted to show you is how one local adult education program is using the LINCS online courses to build their own 3-year professional development plan for their staff. So this is, I know, not easy to read, but this is the template that the professional development staff from the adult education program at Chesapeake College in Maryland created in response to surveying their instructors on what they needed and what they wanted for their own professional learning. So the plan is built around new instructor training, including mentoring. You can see it starts with new teacher orientation and CASAS basic training and a mentoring plan. And then it has these 3 tiers, which are really around 3 years of professional development offerings in adult education, because these PD specialists really believe that for the first 3 years in adult ed, we're all just sort of learning the ropes. So you see things like CASAS and you see GED and important topics for adult educators. But then on the next slide, what I want to point out is just that this whole big chunk in here in Tier 1 and Tier 2, the majority of that menu consists of LINCS courses, those free online courses that we were just looking at. So the teachers complete these courses. They print off their certificates. Their certificates go into their personnel files. They're also used for continuing education units when they do teacher license renewal. And I think it's just a super example of the LINCS courses being used, not only for individuals who are just seeking out their own professional learning opportunities, but also really, systemically by the programs building their own local PD plans. So having these LINCS online course sort of core content lets these professional development specialists to build a community of adult education practitioners who have a shared base of knowledge. And then when they come together face to face, they know everyone has sort of that foundational shared understanding.
All right, that's awesome. And I used to be in Maryland, so yay, Chesapeake College. Kudos to them, they did a great job. So now we're going to talk about the resource collection. So LINCS has a resource collection. The resource collection includes over 750 vetted resources for various audiences, including many instructional and program management resources. We're going to take a look at this live. And so the resource collection provides free online access to high quality, evidence-based vetted materials to help adult education practitioners and state and local staff improve their programs and services and instruction and their teacher quality. So the topics span 18 areas. Alongside you see the areas. And the collection provides relevant instructional resources, professional development materials, as well as research articles, policy briefs, reports, and multimedia. There's just a ton here for you to look through. If we want to take one example of typing in the search, we're going to take a look at what comes up when we type IET, which is oh so popular.
42 things.
42 things on IET. You can type in, anything that comes to mind that you're looking for, and there's probably going to be something here available on this resource collection. It's a great way to start if you're looking for materials.
And I like how it tells you the year this was created. It tells you sort of who it's for. It gives you a little bit of a blurb, and then, like you say, you can click right into it, and you know that this is shown up here because it's gone through the LINCS vetting process, which I believe is 2 or 3 independent reviewers, right? It doesn't just show up here because one person thought it was.
Items it's not crowdsourced material. So people can't just add into the resource collection. It has to go through a process of vetting to make sure that it's in alignment with the goals of LINCS and the LINCS community, which is great because then you don't have to make those judgment calls. You can say it's on the internet and it is good.
That's right. That's right. And I'm just going to try. I think I've tried this before using the topic search. I'm trying to. Oh, here I know. I think I have to reset over here.
Reset it, yeah.
Okay, reset. Career pathways, and then let's say that I really want to find, well, I haven't done this, but let's say I want a lesson plan. I don't know if anything comes up. Nope, nothing came up for that. Okay, so should have tried that before. Let's try not a lesson plan. Let's try career pathways and a video. Let's see what happens.
Nope.
Oh, I haven't
yeah,
I haven't gotten rid of this. That's what's wrong.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's kind of hidden by me. Okay, so 237 things around career pathways.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I further filter, oh, yes, that's right. I love these. I love these day in the life videos. So if you're doing career pathway, you're doing sector strategy kind of work, you can look in here and look at some of these videos that are created by, I think, Department of Labor, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. So let me go back to
Slideshow.
Slideshow. Here we go. Okay. So that's sort of the three main components of links that we think of for adult educators: the community of practice, the learning portal, the resource collection. So I'm just going to pause here and see if anybody wants to type something into the chat box and let us know sort of how you have used. Have you used any or all of these components? There were some of you that said you had looked in these places before. Can you share any experience? Can you share any question or concern? And I'm not seeing the chat box because I've lost it somehow, but
I have it up.
Great. What are we getting? Are we getting any sharing among the folks?
Not yet.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to encourage you all. If you have something you can tell us about.
Okay, we have Carolyn Williams from Southwest Community College. She has adult learners and disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the L2A, yeah, the Learning to Achieve materials. That's great. Thank you, Carolyn. Anybody else? Anybody taking a course? If you have, type it in. Tell us what you thought about it. I will say there are also, well, we're going to get to the section where there are other sort of facilitated courses, but everything we've looked at now has been very just open, anytime, asynchronous kind of access it when you can type of experience. Okay, well, continue to share with us any of your thoughts, concerns, experiences. We're going to move along. So everything we've looked at, you know, up till now has been about us practitioners, as adult education professionals, but Links also has resources for adult learners. So we're going to go take a look at this site. You'll notice the URL is a little different. Instead of links.ed.gov, it's learner.links.ed.gov. And it is the only website in the Link suite which is targeted specifically to address learners. So let me move myself back to the website, and I've got it up here. So you'll see that the site, on the site, learners can work in these different subject areas with resources about reading and math and science. If we take a look inside the math, you'll see when you click in here, you're going to get a link to and a little blurb and a little picture, a little image of some of the resources that have been, again, selected for adult education math. So some of the, TV 411 stuff, these are all going to represent, again, federal investments, things that have been created by the U.S. government, like consumer.gov, or the identity theft website, or the Money Smart podcast. So they're going to be resources that are of high quality, and you can very much trust them, trust these resources to use with your learners. Inside Learning English, my very favorite of all time website, USA Learns, which is just a terrific website. Again, so you'll click into it. These are going to be free resources for your learners, or if you have people studying for the naturalization test, right? There are things about getting jobs, becoming a citizen. There's even find a national literacy program, the American Job Center locators, things about federal student aid. So again, it's just like sort of a clearinghouse of some of the most trusted resources that you can use. And like most of the links pages, it's got some featured resources, the Library for Adult Learners, the My Money Math website. So it's really just there for you to use inside of a distance ed or a continuing ed type of experience that you offer your learners, or just for your learners to use on their own. Anything you want to share in that one, Melissa?
No, I think that's it. You covered it very well.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so there's also a component of links that supports your hardworking Mississippi Community College Board Adult Education Office staff, and that is this, the Links PD Center. So Links has a mandate to help states develop their professional development systems. So we want to promote the free links resources that can be interwoven with the state efforts to really support scale and sustainability in professional development. So I'm just going to take a couple more minutes to share these resources. Links provides technical assistance to state leaders and staff responsible for professional development in order to meet the WIOA, the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, Section 223 requirements. And in case you're wondering, this section of WIOA describes the federal funds for state leadership activities. 12.5% of the WIOA Title II federal funds that come into Mississippi, and that could be designated specifically to support building the capacity of your state adult education system. So the Links PD Center does this through dedicated technical assistance activities, the delivery of evidence-based links training upon state request. I know you all had a CCRS training. That was a links training. This is a links training. You'll be having a numeracy initiative training. So those are the kinds of services that come through the PD Center. There are, again, specific services for state audiences, 150 different trainings that you can request, and I'll move to the website and just show you a couple things there. So go back to links, state resources. One of the things, so this is the Professional Development Center. You can look inside the PD Center and see, well, nothing because it doesn't want to go, there we go. Some of the things that we do, there's a self-assessment tool that was created, again, to be used at the state level, though we've seen this also in the state of Virginia. Regions are using the self-assessment and asset map tool to support regional professional learning conversations. And you can see, again, assessing, accessing training. If you look here, you can search through a training catalog. You can see who the links trainers are. You can contact the PD Center and ask questions. When you click that, or click that button, you're going to get to Melissa.
That may be Judy.
That may be me. So we're standing by. And let's see, what else did I want to show you? Oh, over here on the state resources, federal initiatives. So again, when there are federal investments that happen around certain projects that are meant to build the capacity of the field, this is the place in links where those initiatives, where the content that's developed comes to live, right? So here's the implementing state adopted challenging content standards, the standards in action resources. And if you click here, you can just come to a great deal of content, right? The professional development units these were the CCR trainings that probably were delivered, or some of them, these materials were adapted to be used in Mississippi. So there's a great deal of content there. Okay, I'm going to move us back. Okay, so again, participating in webinars and these, the collaborative learning groups. Melissa, do you want to say something about those? Those are really
Sure, yeah. So the collaborative learning groups I think we've done maybe 3, we're going to do 4. They are an intense professional learning group on a very specific topic with sort of a short-term learning time frame. So maybe 6 weeks, depending on the topic. We've had so far a collaborative learning group on developing instructional leaders. What is the one we just finished, Judy?
More
than
your state professional development system.
Yeah, professional development for all. So looking at ways, sharing ideas, and learning about how different systems operate and what folks are doing to create their professional development as a state system. We also had a blended learning PD. So if folks are looking at trying to go to a blended model of professional development, we had some really great resources and ideas and sharing around that topic on how to structure that. And they're usually very close, so there's about 25 people. You come in state teams most of the time, and you're working really closely with the facilitators and the subject matter experts to dig deeper into particular topics that are relevant to the field right now. So they're awesome.
Great.
I've enjoyed sitting in on those.
They are really awesome. Okay, so here is the chance where we're going to ask you to throw out some topics, show us or tell us what you'd like to know, and we will dig around on links and see if we can come up with a resource to assist you. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and I'm going to let Melissa start sharing hers. And if you can find the chat box, or if you simply want to unmute yourself, that is just fine too. And let us know what, if anything, out of this treasure trove of materials you might want to access.
Lost the chat box.
Yes, you have to go back. I know you have to go back up to it and say more, and then
yeah, the more. There we go.
Yeah,
I see it now.
All right, let's see if we can get anybody to. Well, I mean, let's start with the question or the idea that was thrown out here before about adult learners and disabilities or learning disabilities. So show us what you can do with that.
Well, you can do a couple things and go about it a couple of different ways. You can use the big search bar and put learning disabilities. If you're looking for resources, you can click to the resource collection and just type in learning disabilities, and I'll spell it right, abilities, and search the resources that are in the resource collection. So we have quite a few of those from national and state level. You could, if you really want to get your folks or get into some study or coursework, you could search through the links portal for courses, or just go through here and you can go to disabilities and look at what courses are offered, how long they are, of course, how many are there, how many of them are there, and make some decisions and prioritize that way. So there are many ways to get to the information depending on what it is you're looking for as far as method or modality of professional development. You can go to the community and do the same thing. You can look for learning disabilities or community that's working with and under that topic, and see that there's disability and outcomes groups. So you can join a group and shoot around some ideas with your colleagues about serving individuals with disabilities or barriers, and see what other people are doing in the country around that. So depending on what your need is or your role is, you will have a multitude of ways to get information on any given topic, and you can do all three, which I've done. Sometimes you go for just a course, or sometimes you just want to read and see what the research says about adult education and learning disabilities. Anything to add, Judy?
No, I just, what comes to mind when I saw the what were there, 5 different, 1-hour courses in that disability and equity, right? Is how you could use those really as sort of study circle, foundational pieces. You could have, team meetings where everybody goes off and does maybe the Learning to Achieve Neuroscience 1-hour self-paced module, and comes together and discusses it and talks about how it applies in the work that you do. So they're just, again, they're meant to be foundational and sort of the high quality resource that can then help spur the kind of discussion and innovation that's going to happen on the ground to make a difference for people.
Yeah, I actually did a flipped situation with some of the Learning to Achieve materials with some of my staff a couple years ago, because I was supporting them in developing professional development at the local level. So from the state perspective, we were working through this on how they would work with individual instructors at the local level. So you can do it on all different levels.
Yeah. Great. Okay, we have, let's try this as a search. Classroom strategies.
All right. Let's scroll. Want to go in the big search bar?
Yeah, let's try the big search bar. Let's see what we get.
It's always fun. It's like Google.
It is a bit. And yet a little more contained than Google. You don't have to worry that you're going to find all kinds of crazy things. Oh, there's a community called Teaching Strategies.
Yeah. So the good thing about the big search bar is it'll draw up everything with your search, and it'll tell you if it's a PDF, which would be a document, or a community. And then there's also different fact sheets. So it'll tell you what type of, document or modality the information is coming to you as. So that's helpful. And we've already looked on some of these. So yeah.
That teal, I'll just say that's the Teaching Excellence in Adult Literacy. So there are the teal courses. I don't think I mentioned this during the PD Center time, but there are also facilitated courses. So you can join, I think it's a 6-hour course that you join where you have a facilitator and instructor who helps you. It's on a Moodle platform if you're looking for a little more intensive sort of education experience where you get to work with colleagues from around the country. It's very, very rich discussions.
Yeah. We
had also a question about lesson plans.
Right.
This was Tiara's question. Are there any lesson plans that are ready to go?
Do the big search bar first. Let's see what we come up with. Well, this takes us to the resource collection, the first thing. And we have some, as Judy probably pointed out, some things that are all have dates on, which is important when you're looking at materials. So here's access to Kentucky's repository of lesson plans and the lesson plan bank. And if you click on that, it takes you to a little bit of a brief blurb about what it is. And then you can view the resource either by clicking on the right-hand side that says view resource or actually going to the URL. So it takes you straight to Kentucky's website. And they have, I'm going to try not to have these spin while we're talking because they're a little distracting, but they have live links to different content areas. So math standards, and if you click on that, you'll see the standards that come up. If you go back, we can go to the bank, lesson plan bank, and it tells you how to get started and how to search for things. There's also a search for lessons here. So I'm a big proponent of like clicking until I find what I want, because that's usually how it works. And if you can't find what you want, contact Kentucky. So it will take you to some resources that have gone through the vetting process, and then it can be posted. Here's some classroom activities for adult ESL learners. So again, you can look at their videos. You can go to the link. I don't know if they're, I hope they play it. And there are videos and classroom videos, curriculum and lesson plan, and some more videos for your viewing. So all of these, just by searching lesson plans, you can come up with some great resources.
Actually, I think where you were, just right back there, go
Yeah.
forward 2 more clicks. I think you're about to hit a whole bunch of CCRS videos
Yeah.
that they have in
The-
Minnesota.
From here?
Yeah.
Yeah, these down here.
Down just a,
Yeah.
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 They have a lot of lesson plans, a lot of videos. Again,
Yep.
that an individual could use. You could use, as a PD specialist to try to initiate some conversation around, certain strategies. So it's, again, links trying to bring you the best of what your colleagues are doing around the country. All right. Anybody else have a question, a topic, something you would like to see? I think we had one more that again was a Tiara topic, but we shouldn't let Tiara walk it all over. Anybody else has one? But Tiara had a question about training for new instructors,
Right,
new
so-
directors.
Oh, there we go. So, new instructors. We'll just do that.
I don't see it.
Oh, did I stop sharing? Oh,
No, it's just not typing in the.
oh.
Okay,
So,
typing.
when you look into the big search bar, you can,
I'm not seeing it, Melissa.
you're not seeing my screen?
I'm seeing your screen, but nothing's happening on it.
Do you see the search results?
No, it's
Oh.
frozen.
Frozen.
Maybe it's me. Anybody else seeing that?
Is anybody else having problems seeing?
Could just
Yeah,
be
it's, I see your, I just see
cursor.
courses.
Yeah, it's stuck. It's like your little
It's
cursor
stu-
stuck. on
oh.
frozen.
Oh,
I don't
well,
know
I'm gonna
if you-
stop sharing, Judy. Maybe
Okay,
it's better
okay,
on you.
that's
Yeah.
fine. All right. Okay, well.
Sorry.
I'll-
My
right.
computer has seen better days.
That's it. All right. Okay. Well, we hope that that you've gotten a flavor for, if you've been a Links user before, that it continues to get deeper and richer, and there are many, many things that are of value inside the collections. There are many ways that you can interact with it, right? You can join a community, you can lurk in a community, you can just search things when you need them, you can engage in a course, you can watch our YouTube channel. I don't think we've got the address up here. What is our YouTube channel?
Goodness.
I don't know, but there is a YouTube channel.
There is a YouTube channel.
So just a whole bunch of ways to engage with Links beyond, having Links trainers come do webinars or come to your state, which is always a wonderful thing to have happen. Okay, so this is how you can contact us, and again, our job is to be a resource, and we're really thrilled that Tiara asked us to do this. But we hope that we'll hear from you, and there'll be other ways that we can help you, and that we can help the state of Mississippi.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to reach out.
That's right. That's right. We do have one more ask of you, and that is that, of course, this being Links, the formal arm of the U.S. Department of Education, we need to keep track of what we do, and we need to know what people think of what we do so that we can continually try to get better. So we're going to take a survey. I'm actually going to try to put this into the chat. Well, maybe you can do this, Melissa. Can you put it into the chat box while I'm showing? Okay. Well, maybe I can do it. Let's see. I think I can.
Okay.
So I'm going to put a link into the chat box. Let's see if it happened. Oh, it did. Yay. Okay. So if you all would just take a couple of minutes, please, or 30 seconds, and click on this link and go through and tell us what you think, and definitely give us more ideas, or tell us how we can improve the session for other states. We would greatly appreciate that. Kara, anything else we can do for you?
No, I appreciate. We will share the recording with those who were not able to attend, and we look forward to continuing to work with you all, so that we can bring evidence-based professional development to our state.
Excellent. Uh-oh, I'm getting an error with that link.
Oh,
No. You've all been so generous, and here I am. Okay, let me try it one more time. www.surveygizmo. The link's not working.
yeah.
Jeez. Okay, well.
You want to send it to me? And
oh, I will. That's a wonderful idea. That's a wonderful idea. I will fix the link.
Sorry about that, everyone.
Yeah. Not working. Okay. Okay. Well, never fear. That link's going to get to you somehow.
We'll send it to Dare, and she can blast it out, folks.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all for your time. Really appreciate it.
all
All right.
Thank you.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.